Wizards has seen its own shadow, and that means at least one more month of the Fantasticar. All right, welcome back, vintage gamers. The Fantasticar is indeed staying around until at least August 10th, which means more car videos. What it doesn't mean is that we're going to stop brewing and trying to make even better deck lists week to week, and that's what our attempt here is going to be. I am trying my hardest, as usual, to make this workshop deck have blue cards in it. And it has been quite a challenge. It's not an easy deck building task to fit a Fantasticar deck that is flipping and playing Fantasticar early while having enough blue spells to play Force of Will and still presenting solid other game plans. The reason the Raker Shops list is so good is because it does all of its things well and has lots of different ways to play out games. The problem I'm finding with lists like the one you see today is they are a bit narrower and require, very specific sets of hands to function. That doesn't mean we're not going to try to attempt it today. We're going to see how this list fares in a vintage league. It is a blue workshop deck featuring the Fantasticar, but very importantly, trying to get Force of Will in here. If you can ever have a Force of Will in a combo mirror, it typically is going to break in your favor. So that's why we're trying so hard to make this work. So far, it hasn't really worked for me. I've tried a bunch of different things. I've tried paradoxical outcomes. I've tried without workshops, and nothing has really felt right. It's really hard to balance the goals of flipping Fantasticar as well as doing other things. So I'm going to run it back through another league with a couple different changes here. You haven't seen any of my other ones because they all haven't gone super well and I don't have them recorded. But I am taking some suggestions from the Discord, from Not Me and other people, because Not Me and I have both 5-0 in the past with blue workshop decks that don't have Jewelless Jewel, as it were. Some rings and things. But we're going to try here with some Metamorphs to fill out the blue slots, as well as a Hull Breach Repair and a Time Twister. That should get our blue count up to a really substantial level. 3, 6, 10, 12, 16, 20, which is quite good. It's like normal Jewel level. The question is going to be, is our deck actually better than just playing Jewel? We have, a lot of the same mana base as Jewel, but we're over-indexing on artifact mana to produce these Fantasticar. Is trying to get a Fantasticar going better than just getting a Jewel going, getting a ring going? We're going to find out. I'd love to have some rings in this deck, but it's quite hard to fit the blue cards and fit in all of the pieces that go with Fantasticar and Tezzeret. Maybe you could cut Tezzeret, but then you're missing out on Tezzerets and tops, and it's a lot harder. I don't know. I don't know if you have good ideas on how to make a blue Raker Shop deck. There's no Rakers in this deck either, but you could play Rakers as well. There's all kind of cards you want to try to fit in here, but you only have so much space. No, the answer is not Yorion. You still want to have your maximum amount of probability to draw your workshops and your Moxen. Though having a blue card in exile to grab for your Force of Will is pretty good idea. So we're going to play this list today. It's by no means good or tuned, but we're going to see if we can glean any insightful information over the course of this 5-match Vintage League, where I will see you in round 1. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. All right, here we go. Welcome to round 1 of our Vintage League. We do have Black Decks 99 across the table, Serum Powdering with Dredge and keeping 7 cards, as per usual. The traditional Raker Fantasticar deck is an overwhelming favorite against Dredge, an extreme number, which I talked about in one of my previous videos. But this deck, I would assume, is not as much. So this hand doesn't have enough mana, so we're going to mulligan it. This deck doesn't have rings, which is the big thing separating it. This hand I'd love to keep on the back of an Ancestral Recall, but if my Ancestral Recall gets taken from me by a Grief, our life is not good. Not good at all. I'm going to mulligan this hand as well, I think. Okay, keeping this one. Do I want to put both my forces back and just keep this? Or do I want to put back Force Jet, keeping blue card, Metamorph Tez? The problem is I don't have actual graveyard hate with this Tez, and in my current main of the Raker list, I have a Needle, which would be quite good here, but I don't have anything for this. Don't think I'm allowed to fight over a hollow one. I did get griefed, so I'm glad I didn't keep that Ancestral. So my opponent still has 2 cards left, a Dredger and an Icarid in the yard. All I have going for me is a Tezzeret. They have also have a Force. Yep, Classics Black Dex 99 with a 7-card Bazaar hand with a Hollow one, a Dredger, an Icarid, a Grief black card, and a Force blue card. I think we can concede. This is like one of the big problems with this deck is I don't have the rings in here, so there's like just not enough things going on. Obviously, we mulligan twice, which doesn't help. Go to game 2. Stick out Citadel. Let's bring in our 4 pieces of Dredge Hates. Don't know that I want Hull Breachers, but I do like Time Twister. I don't need Mental Misstep. I want to maybe keep Protecting Probe for my car. I don't think these Hull Breachers are that good. They might be better than Metamorphs, though. Metamorph is probably not doing very much for me. Maybe the Hull Breachers are just better than Metamorphs here. Though it's just like impossible to cast these Hull Breachers, so I don't know. My deck is not very good at casting Hull Breacher. That's why I put the Metamorphs in to start. So I got a Cage, and I have top, I guess. I mean, I have a Cage, right? I have to keep it with a Cage. My opponent kept 7 cards, so I don't know that we can win the game. I guess I can bait a Misstep with a Sensei's Top, and I can play a Cage. I'm not going to play into Mindbreak Trap here for no reason, so I don't think I want to play out the Emerald. Don't think the Cage does very much right away. Serum Powder, chill from the opponent. Grief my hand. Don't have anything I can cast, so not the end of the world. Took the Hull Breacher. That is the worst draw in my deck. We'll play out the Emerald at this point so I can spin. Workshop Ancient Tomb, blue land. All right, I'll get an Ancient Tomb so I can get a Tezzeret going. The Tez will let me get another piece of interaction, which could be pretty important if my opponent vigors me. Getting a Vexing Bauble could seal the deal as well, so. All right, a Dredger is finally in the yard, as is a hollow one. Did not get the Vexing Bauble down in time. Let's get a Tezzeret. Did they find a Force blue card? They found a Force blue card. Okay, so I have a blue land coming. I could Twister if I wanted to. I don't know that that's very good for me. Feels kind of bad for me. I got double chilled. Okay. It's also kind of bad for me. Because that puts me to 8 and then to 5 and then to okay, never mind. I am not going to be able to Twister. Jeez. Okay. Force blue card, Grief black card, Hollow 1. The one Dredge they chose to do was double chill. Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least the Silver Smoke Ghoul doesn't enter. I'll spin here to not draw the 2 cards I don't want to draw, but I don't know that it matters very much. I think I actually will just draw the blue source and play it tapped. I don't know. I guess if I had Metamorphs in my deck, I could at least copy this Hollow 1. Looks like my opponent's trying to get to do the 4th chill. But I don't actually have the Metamorphs in my deck to... So I would have to have like a car and flip a car somehow. I know there's a Mana Vault on top, so we can draw the Mana Vault, and then we can spin and see if we can find something good. Nope. All right. Crushed by Black Dex 99 on Dredge. As one of the nice things about the Raker deck is that it can't really lose to Dredge for the most part. Super broken. So here we have a hand that does cast Twister and Hullbreacher, but it just takes forever to cast them. I also have a CRK of Tezzeret Time Vault. So this is a really powerful proactive hand, besides the fact that it has no mana. Like, it has a bunch of threats, so I'll give it a shot. Oh, it's another Dredge. That's not good. Oh, no, it's Squee. So Hullbreacher gets a lot better versus Squee, so that's nice. I think I'm just going to get the Time Vault in play, see if I can bait a counter with it. Probably not. Like, usually people don't counter this, but sometimes they see it and like negate it because that way it can never come back with except with Karn. All right, so they have a Squee engine going, so they're Faithless Looting every turn. We have some good cards. Our best draw is probably Force of Will, so that way we can play a Hullbreacher on their turn in response to a Bazaar activation and have Force backup for it, because it's going to be hard to make sure this Bazaar Hullbreacher resolves with the opponent drawing so many cards. The good news is that, like, if you cast Hullbreacher on their turn, especially, the only thing they can really do is Force of Will it, so that's not a bad draw either. I don't know how many hits I can take of my own spells, but it might be worth trying to take this turn to just Tezzeret Bauble, because obviously if Bauble resolves, it's a winning play. And that way I can play a tapped sync. Maybe I save some life. We'll see. Maybe this baits a Vigor on these things. I don't know if that's helpful. There's already 2 Vigors in the yard, so they did loot away one. Now they have 2 Squeeze. All right, there's a negation. Wish I could play another spell this turn, but I can't. Maybe my Springs just gets Wastelanded too. Let's see. Oh, I guess obviously I would not get Bauble because I have the Time Vault in play. But I actually don't know that's the case because of this exact scenario. So like my opponent could theoretically maybe have let Tezzeret resolve, let me go for the Time Vault, and then Vigored in response. But I think you might actually be supposed to go for the Bauble because of Vigor, even with 2 Vigors in the yard. I don't know. Something to consider. My opponent's down to 2 cards, but they're going back up to 4 here and then to 5 with their draw and their 2 masters. And all we really want to find is a force to protect our Hullbreacher. At least we can't take any mana crypt damage. Small victories. We also do need to find a Hullbreacher before our opponent puts like actual creature threats into play that kill us. Hollow 1 and Vengevine. Noxious Revival, Double Master. There's a Hollow 1. Okay. There's the Force. Brilliant. So I will play another blue land in case I get Wastelanded here. And then hopefully this Hullbreacher can Time Twister us into a victory. That would be awesome. That would make me feel a lot better about my life. The small things that I need to feel better. Hopefully they just think I'm out of threats and then they activate here. They did. I've got a main deck Hullbreacher. Do you have a Force? They need to have 2 Force of Wills here. Or a Force in a Misdirection, or a Force in a Commandeer. Alright, no, Hullbreacher just resolves. That's big. So they don't get to draw cards. They just discard, and I get 2 treasure tokens to help us cast spells. And I still have Force Backup for my Time Twister next turn, which is a lot harder to resolve because of Force of Negation. All right, Vengevine to the yard. Master stayed in hand. 4th Vigor to the yard. I go to 10. So their hand is Master +2, but we have a Force, so we should be okay here. I don't want to play Pearl out, because if I play Pearl out and I cast Time Twister as my second spell, they force it, I force back, and then they play Trap over the top. So I'm going to forego my Pearl to just cast Time Twister, and I'm going to do it off of one of the treasures so I can save 2 life. Because life is going to matter here. Yep, there's the Force of Negation. Pitching Commandeer. So their last card in hand is Master. But we are going to force this and push through our Twister. It'll just wipe their yard, give us 7 treasures, and give us 7 cards. Then we can see if we can beat a hollow one. Right, 7 treasures. Academy, Metamorph, Probe. Okay, so I'm going to play Lotus. And I'm going to play Academy. And I'm going to play... I don't probably need to play Academy. I could probably just play Saga. But I want to see what this card draw is here. And I'm thinking I'm just going to play this Metamorph as a hollow one. And I'm going to attack for 3. I'm going to hold this Jet. Maybe I should have held the Lotus just for Fantasticar. Probably should have just played Saga is the answer. Maybe like Saga, sack Lotus, play whatever. But my opponent has to draw 1 card per turn for the rest of the game, and they can't use their Bazaar because I have a Hull Breacher for the most part. And I am currently winning on board because I have a copied hollow one, so... But yeah, I should just play this Saga. That was a mistake for sure. Okay. So we got the Breacher Twister in against Squee. Very happy about how that went. I do have the Sphinx here, and I also have Lantern, Needle, which I like. Cage I don't really like. It only stops Vengevine. Crypt I'm okay with as well. Hull Breacher is obviously great. Don't want Trap, don't want Dismember, don't want Masticore, don't want Portal. Switching Bolus Citadel out and switching Karn out doesn't do anything here. Switching out Misstep, I don't think it does enough. Chain, I don't think it does enough. I like to trying to keep Probe for our car if possible. And then... maybe 1 top. Maybe a pedal. I don't know. It's always a balance. We're trying to balance our blue card count. We're trying to balance our cheap spells for the car. We've got a Needle, and we've got a Metamorph, and of course our Sphinx in hand. A Needle against a 7 card. I'm going to keep this. I have a Piece of Hate, and I have the mana to play a blue card. If I were to draw a blue card, if I were to draw a car, it would work. So I think this is fine. A Metamorph on a hollow one could present a blocking threat, or even like a Metamorph on a Vengevine, so that it can't get Vigor. I guess it still can get Vigored, so probably a hollow one. Hand is pretty bad against Vigor. Hand is pretty bad in general, but I don't know that I want to put this hand back. Especially if my opponent doesn't have an immediate answers. Like again, they have to keep every Bazaar hand regardless of what kind of interaction it has, and they did keep a 7. Here's a hollow one, and a Master in the yard, a Misdirection in the yard, and a Wasteland in the yard. There's a Force. That's not bad. So let's see if our Bazaar resolves, or our Needle and Bazaar resolves. If I have to force back, it doesn't. Bazaar, Baghdad. So I'm not going to play another spell here because of the same thing we referenced in the last game, where I want to be able to have force protection against Vigor, and I don't want to run into Mind Break Trap. I am just going to force this Vigor, pitching my Sphinx. All right, so my opponent has 2 cards in hand. They're going to get the Master back to the hand, but hopefully this Needle is going to survive now that we've countered their Vigor. Only have 3 more Vigors left in their deck, obviously. So not too many ways left to deal with Needle. So hopefully if we can get a Metamorph to resolve, we should be stable. Tezzeret. So I cannot cast Resolve Tezzeret with a Bauble without playing into Trap on this turn. But I could just play all of my things and do it. So if I were to go Monolith, Tezzeret. No, I can't. I'm still short. All right, I'm going to try to get a Bauble in play. I don't think this is going to work, but it is certainly our most powerful play here. I think if I could go back, I would probably just play Metamorph as a Hollow 1 and pass. Because I just can't get... like, even if I play both of these out, I can't get this Tezzeret to survive. I can't get enough mana to Metamorph it, so... This resolves. I see. I will not lie to you. I did not expect that to resolve. So now that it has resolved, my opponent can't do anything except for return Vengevines. So they should be activating, trying to fill their yard with Squeeze to return Vengevines by casting spells into the Bauble. I, unfortunately, will not be able to make... Ooh, that's a really good Wasteland. Didn't matter too much. We'll see. I unfortunately don't have these in play. So I guess I should have played these first and then played Bauble. That's my fault. I kind of thought I was going to hold them. Like, I was going to play Bauble, it was going to get countered, I would hold them and pass. So that I can still have, like, Fantasticar stuff, you know? I think I've played this league pretty poorly so far, but learned a lot of different sequencing things, so always worthwhile. If I don't get Wastelanded again, I can find more. If I find more mana, we can be in a decent spot, but I'm running out of life. Time Walk. I'm not really allowed to crack this Bauble unless it's my last possible chance. Because it's just so good against my opponent's deck. It just hard counters the whole deck. How many chances do I have left? Not many. That's insane. Such a good draw. I'm going to start with a Time Walk here. Because it can't be countered, so I can maybe find some more things that'll help me take less life. Tezzeret. So this makes 3. So I could take 2, play Tezzeret, untap Monolith, play Metamorph. I could take 2. I could just play Metamorph. If I just play Metamorph and take 2, on the next turn I can make it a 5/5. Should just win the game. So I guess this is just fine. These Metamorphs have came in clutch here against Hollow 1. Which is quite nice. So I think my opponent needs to be activating the Razar. Because their way to win this game is return Vengevines from the yard. And you can do that through Bauble. That's basically the only play you can do through Bauble as this deck is Wasteland and return Vines. So until I get something that is hitting the yard, like that should be their strategy in my opinion. So what I can do now is attack with this hollow one, and if they don't block, it's a nightmare for them. And if they do block, then I play Tezzeret and get something that threatens the yard. Yeah, so this is like super bad for them because what I can do is I can Tezzeret, I can untap the hollow one, and it gets a 1/1 counter. The bad part for me is still that my opponent... Oh, I'm so stupid, bro. I've been saying untap Bazaar the whole time, and I have a needle on Bazaar. That's going to be so funny for the stupid YouTube watchers. Okay. That's hilarious. My bad. That one's on me. Okay, so here I can tutor with my Tezzeret and win the game. I have a Vexing Bubble, so I will play a Soul Guide Lantern. So they are pitching vines, which they'll probably concede to. But I want to flip my car, so... Yeah, I'm sorry. That's gonna be so funny. I'm like, why are they not so even the streamer can miss the onboard needle even when he's the one who cast it. Very impressive. I'm leaving it in. I have no shame. Sometimes you start talking, you start saying things, and yeah. Anyways, beep beep. Oh god. How many times did I say tap Bazaar? I mean, to be fair, it is the thing that you can do through Bobble. Those those are the things you can do through Bobble. Return Vengevine and Wasteland. That's still true. It's just this opponent couldn't tap Bazaar. So I apologize to my opponent, BLT, for telling them to do something that is illegal. I won't apologize to YouTube comments though. They're gonna make fun of me anyways. All right. Weird hand here against Lurrus, but I have a CRK and I have a Hardcast Citadel. So we're in. Let's see what we can do with this. They have an island, which means they can have Consign, and it means that they can have Spell Pierce. So what I will do is Ancient Tomb first to play around Spell Pierce, cast Black Lotus, cast Time Bolt. Negated. Fine with me. Go. Mox Pearl. Lavinia would be a kicking here. Brainstorm. Probably want to brainstorm before you play Mox Pearl, usually. Could, in some crazy world, want to put the Mox Pearl back. Wasteland. Okay. No Spell Pierce, no Consign are held up this turn. I think this turn I will get a Saga going. After I get Wastelanded, pretty good. And I'll get a top in play. All right. 3 cards in my opponent's hand, another Wasteland. Okay. 2 cards in my opponent's hand. All right. Do I want to play into Spell Pierce Consign? I really don't. I think I'm going to... I think they have a Spell Pierce. I need 8 mana. Can do it next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Do I want to pay 3 life to be able to spin? Or to maybe draw? I don't think so. I don't think my plan next turn is changing. Yeah, I really think I'm supposed to play around Spell Pierce here based on the way my opponents played this game. So I'm going to continue doing that. The only thing that saves me here is Defense Grid. I don't think it's... Let's see. I have a lot of mana now. Let's spin. I have 1 Defense Grid in my main. I have an Ancestral and a Force. That's interesting. Okay, new plan. Activate top. Untap top. Activate top. Draw. Ancestral myself. See if that gets a Force. That'd be a huge win for me. Got a Force. Wow. Okay, yeah, so spinning and doing all that paid off. Didn't pitch a negation, so we'll see if they have a consign last card here. But I have a Spell Pierce paid for here, so see if they Spell Pierce my top instead. No. Okay, so they didn't have Spell Pierce. We can draw as many as 17 cards here. I think I'd like to have a blue card. Should probably be holding priority, but that's okay. I'll cast this one as a key, maybe. Maybe that's like not worth the 4 life. I should just draw through it. I should probably just draw through that next time. Karn can get us back our negated card. Don't know that there's much for me to get with this Tinker, so... Oh, I guess I could get a car. We're pretty past the point of caring about a car, though. So I think I just draw through it for now. 5 life. 4 life. Spin. There's a Tezzeret. I think next turn we'll just go for a car play, and we'll just pass for now. I guess we get more spins and stuff, though. Is there anything I can get that will help me? I want to be able to force and misstep, so I will go get a Sapphire. Okay, my opponent's off of it. Yeah, I'm not sure I like how I played that whole sequence out. I think I would go back and I would draw through the Metamorph instead. But okay, so we beat some kind of Lurrus deck. We don't exactly know what's going on. I don't actually think I want forces against them. I want defense grids, but I can't have defense grids. So do I want to just have forces? I could take forces out, and I could play Masticore, Hold Breacher, Needle on Wasteland, maybe? I really just want forces to be other combo decks, mostly. Let's see. That's what I'm thinking about, is yeah. Okay, I'll try this. Don't know. All trying to learn. Just doing learning. This hand has a lot of mana, but doesn't do anything. So unless they have a frog for us to copy, I don't know that we want to be keeping this hand. So I probably just put this back. Looking for something a little bit more powerful. This is a little bit more powerful, but it is all in. New car. That's kind of nice. I am just gonna go with... I'm gonna just try to bait a counterspell and just play a car on turn 1 here. So I guess if we get wastelanded, it's real bad for me. But I wanted to try to keep 4 spells and just use the first one as bait. Only that works if they don't wasteland me. If they don't wait, or sorry, if they wait, if they don't wasteland me and they play a null rod, we actually just kill them through null rod with car, jet, academy, monolith. No, we're actually short. They wasteland me anyways. All right, we need some help here. That's help for sure. All right, well, attempt number 2. I don't think we're allowed. I guess we can't actually play it here. I mean, we can play it here, but we can't combo here. That's fine. I think I'm just gonna wait. I want to play around. I guess they would have spell pierced this if they had a spell pierce, but I don't know. I don't think I'm supposed to jam because I can't actually do the thing. Oh, I could, or I could play monolith second. Shit. I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to jam into it. And this is a point again where we could we theoretically play through a null rod? Can't play through a Lavinia, I'll tell you that much. Jeez. Okay, so we need 3 lands to play through Lavinia. We can play through Lavinia, but we just need to have another land draw, which seems tough to do. We can cycle this though and see what they had. If they had nothing and last turn we could have won, that'd be pretty sad. Looks like they have force and they have strip mine. Okay, that's probably too much for us to beat. Assuming they had force last turn, I don't think we had really any options here. But this strip mine is just brutal because I just can't cast this card anymore. So yeah, so like things like null rod. So like null rod in this set we could have maybe have like played through, right? Null rod was like pretty playable. We could have maybe got through it. But Lavinia and null rod and wasteland are all and vexing wobble are all cards that incentivize you to like just jam, you know. And like so like here, if I was playing the Raker deck, I could still draw Raker and have like a pretty good chance. But because I don't have Raker, and my opponent also has triple wasteland, Jesus. I just like have no game. This is why this is why I don't feel currently that like trying to get blue cards in to break the mirror and the combo matchup is worth it. Even if we get to 3 lands, we still have to get through a force. I think you just need the consistency. In Legacy, maybe, you know, maybe it's different. You can just power through. I do regret my choice in this game. I should have gone on turn 2, monolith, car, jet. Obviously, it would have gotten countered, and I would have been in a worse, not a worse spot, but I would have at least tried, you know? That is a really good card that will force a force. But I don't have enough mana to even play my second monolith to get it in play. Because I got wastelanded triple times. 3 wastelands is a bit too many wastelands. My opponent didn't buy Lurrus, which means they probably also have drawn negation. So So my best draw here is land, Masticore, get it forced, untap, land, car, go. That's all I have left in my tank here. I'm just gonna cast Treasure Cruise though, and we're gonna fall behind and die, so not gonna work out. Not gonna work out. Ah, and Stony. So now we can't even play our Masticore. Oh, we hit the Ancient Tomb. That would have worked. Would have worked. Maybe we just need to have forces, which just feels terrible. I do think that Lavinia is annoying against our deck in general, like Raker and card decks in general, and definitely our deck as well. I don't think we can win this game. I'm getting close to ready to concede, so. All right. I did draw land, so I will play this tapped, and I will cast Fantasticar, because I can actually trigger here on turn 8 Fantasticar through Stony Silence. But my opponent has drawn a Spell Pierce. Pretty crazy. I do think the Fantasticar is very good. I just don't know. My mana base is so bad. Oh, let's try again, I guess. I don't know. I don't really want to have... I don't really want to have forces in my deck here. I never really want to have forces against... What I want is defense grids, so maybe I just need to have defense grids in my board. And then I only have forces for when I'm playing against combo. What if I play forces in my board? Doesn't really work. Because you have to make your deck so bad to play force. Or I should say so much worse than Raker to even play force at all. Yeah, man, these 1-mana lands are just not it. They are just not it. I do not like that. I'm just gonna put this back. I don't think this does anything. Well, this CRK is in multiple ways, so that is definitely it. We're gonna play turn 1 Time Vault and then just start slamming. Just don't know if it'll be fast enough against a Stony Silence plus Force combo. Opponent mulliganed at least. All right, I play Time Vault. Can play through Spell Pierce with the key, which is nice. Play through Wasteland with an Ancient Tomb. Cannot play through Consign. Can play through Consign, no Force with Tezzeret. We actually play through a lot of things here. I'm gonna go with Key. Consign. And Tezzeret. So many threats. Are we debating which card to pitch to Force, or are we mad that you needed 2 counters? Which one? Nope, got 2 cards. All right, pitches to Force Frog. All right, well, I put 2 win the game spells on the stack on the first 2 turns. My opponent had 2 answers and 2 lands and a 2-drop after pitching Frog. And a Mox. And a Stony Silence. All right, yeah. I mean, Masticore is our best draw. Hmm. What is the solution? I got wastelanded. Only have 2 Masticores and 1 chain. Probably have to keep forces in. I think that's the answer. So I just have to. And none of these cards. I mean, I could have maybe boarded out a pedal for a force. None of these cards are like cards I would have boarded out for force. But if I keep forces in, then maybe I have a chance to push through my combo, right? Okay. I think it's just misinterpretation of how my deck is supposed to play here, because it's definitely different from. So the problem is I have just like 8 less threats, right? I have 4 less rings and 4 less rakers. So I just don't have enough threats in my deck. So I need to protect the threats I do have. So learning lessons along the way here, which is good. I was learning nothing, I'd be pretty sad. What a fruitless effort that would be. And a frog number 2. Yeah, I mean, this is a nice hand, though, from the opponent. It's on all accounts. Yeah. I'm thinking we're dead. I guess a car here still triggers and does 16 in the air. So I guess at any point from this last draw on, like a car does do it, which is kind of crazy. But I don't think that's in our cards here. Another wasteland. That probably puts us out of the game. Wasteland's still insane. Even in a turn 1. No, I literally have it. No, the wasteland saves the day. I mean, I'm sure my opponent had a counterspell at this point again, but oh well. All right, we're back here trying another blue car, but this is another example of why these non-mud cards are problematic. If this was any other card in the Raker deck, besides maybe Raker, we'd be flipping a car here. But now we're gonna have to try to draw into flipping a car, which is maybe worth it, maybe not worth it. Hard to say. Yeah, I don't like this deck at all. I don't even know if this will become a video. We'll see. Oh, turn 1 Archon. I mean, we can at least... I guess we can't do anything. We're just gonna get crushed. Yeah, though, to be fair, I think everyone's getting crushed by turn 1 Archon here. No vintage deck is happy to see Archon uncounterably on turn 1. Actually, none. Like, even Dredge doesn't want to see that. It's not, like, amazing against Dredge, but even Dredge doesn't want to see that. They even have the on-color Pearl so they can keep casting things, and Void Mirror. Technically, we can play through Void Mirror because we do have blue mana. It's just, it's not going to be very easy to do that. They follow us up with a Seasoned Engineer. I'm pretty off it. I didn't include an island in my list either. I need to find some room to cut things. So, like, even metamorphing a Dungeoneer isn't very good for me. Okay. All right. Should have won the die roll, but then I wouldn't have kept my hand, so... The good news is I can take a portal to Phyrexia, which is always fun. Let's bring these things in here. Don't know that I really want to be playing Hull Breacher Twister, but they are creatures that attack. I do think I want to be forcing, though. I actually don't really want to be forcing. The problem is, again, like, I need things to work. So, can I really afford to not be forcing? I mean, misstep is pretty bad. The problem is, like, I want to get rid of a bunch of blue cards if I do that, right? So maybe I just take out a bunch of forces here and play more Twister Wheels stuff. I don't know. It doesn't look like it maps pretty well. This is the problem. Like these whole breachers like are just too slow. My deck is too slow for the format. That's what I'm thinking. Or at least my blue cards are too slow for the format is what I should say. I'm gonna mulligan this. This is not better. It's just, this is just not good enough. I mean, to be fair, if I was playing the Tinker deck, I would also not be able to keep these hands because I don't have Moxen. So, like, maybe it's just I'm drawing badly. Like, I'm just drawing hands with no fast mana here. This hand I like a lot, so... Going to keep... Frig. So there's some problems here. So if I take this... This... The problem is I have to crack... It's fine. Oh, no, it's not fine. None of these are fine, actually. I guess, like, I'm trying to think about like, playing around Chancellor and playing Bauble on turn 1. But I just can't do that and mulligan to 5 and have a card to pitch to Masticore. So I guess we're just not playing Bauble. Okay, my opponent didn't have one, so we can just jam a Masticore on turn 1 here. Maybe I'm supposed to keep an Opal so I can make colorful mana, but I have a Masticore, so I shouldn't have to worry about that. If I wasn't mulliganing to 5, I think this hand's like super good. But mulliganing to 5 makes this a lot harder. All right, turn 1, mana crypt, 3-drop. What do we got? Don't have a 3-drop in my hand to kill a 3-drop. I can only kill the mana crypt, which might be good. They have to play something, because if they don't play anything, then the mana crypt is just used to not doing anything. So, Bauble, crack Bauble. Bauble, Void Mirror. Okay. So here I am just going to discard Manifold Key and kill the mana crypt. I think it's the strongest play. It's going to cut them off on mana. And I can get their other thing at a different time here. I'm going to try to ride this Masticore all the way to victory. If my opponent has a swords, which I doubt they have a swords because we showed them blue shops. If they have a sword, then we're going to get crushed. But if they don't have a swords, I think we're in a good spot. So let's see what happens. Cracking Bauble makes sense. Notably, if my opponent does nothing, I do have to play something. So I will pitch a Grim Monolith and kill the Void Mirror. All right, 2 more attacks. Turn 1, 5/5, first strike. Destroy your things every turn. Not bad. Mishra has great works. All right, this can be a Witch Enchanter. Second Witch Enchanter. Ancient Tomb was a save. Seasoned Dungeoneer. Can't kill that one. But they do need to block at some point. Didn't lose very many flips in this game. Don't have an island to search for, which would actually be insane here. Because yeah. If I had an island in my deck here, getting an island, playing an island, and playing Tinker Portal would be quite good. So that's a good reason to have an island in my deck. I think I probably didn't count mono white enough when I considered cutting that island. So mistake from my side. Or maybe I just put the island in the board. So my opponent both has to take the initiative and play a thing that doesn't get killed by Masticore and can block. Or like maybe yeah, there's a couple options, but none of them are great. They also get only one more tap of Ancient Tomb. Like, I guess the best one here is White Plume Adventure. It triggers a Forge onto the Dungeoneer. The Dungeoneer gets to attack for 1,000,000 and then untaps and is bigger than the Masticore. So yeah, a White Plume Adventure is quite good here. Everything else besides a White Plume Adventure is probably not good enough. Besides Witch Enchanter number 2, killing Masticore. A second Seasoned Dungeoneer. That'll do it. You can just Forge onto this Seasoned Dungeoneer and block. Damn. Puts them to 1, but I think that's enough. I have to draw a 4-drop on my turn here, which is few and far between. I guess my best draw is just an island. If I can find a Sink into Stupor, I can play a Tinker, and that'll do it. No one ever said I wasn't lucky. I mean, I said that, but we don't talk about that. Portal to Phyrexia. Kill your 2 Seasoned Dungeoneers, attack you for lethal. Okay, I almost lost that game because I didn't have an island in my deck. So we have to keep that in mind. I'm going to bring in Forces, I guess, on the draw here. It sounds so bad, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. Yeah, I mean, maybe that gets me there. Maybe that gets me. I mean, we could probably get rid of the Opal. A trap, play some traps, get our blue count higher too. Karn can probably go in the mirror on the draw. That's not pretty. That's not pretty at all, but that's what we're working with. I like this hand a lot. We need to find an artifact for our Tinker, but I think Tinker is the way to go. Metamorph could be an artifact. Workshop Metamorph, Tinker it away. It'll take a while, but I think this is the way. We also have Saga Ancient Tomb, which can be good against a turn 1 Voidmare if my opponent goes too far on the mulliganings. I'm gonna let it ride. See what happens. 7-card keep from the opponent. Chrome Mox. No Chancellor, so Swords to Plowshares was kept in now for the Masticore, and a Wasteland 3-mana hand, a White Plume. Okay. Man, I really wish we had an island, but I guess we probably won't play an island very much in this game. Our best draw is by far fast mana right now, because my opponent did not restrict us in any way. We drew a Force. That's not bad. I'm going to definitely play a Metamorph as a White Plume. Hopefully we can force their next spell. God, yeah, island would be nice. I think I'd rather have the Tinker than Blue Land. Also, forging here is insane. So, but we have to block, so no forging. That does mean we'll probably just go Lost Welling to get to stash for blue as an artifact or and blue. Yeah, we're gonna go on the Lost Well. Don't get to do that very often. Portal, we definitely don't want. Don't want Time Walk either, really. And we drew a Force. All right. Well, I'm interested in Saga Gaming here. Maybe that's wrong because I have a Tezzeret that I kind of want to go get a Lotus and Tinkerer. But then I only really want to do that if they have creatures, so... Kind of interesting. Void Mirror. Okay. That's fine. Strip Mine. So, Saga Gaming down. We can still play a Tezzeret this turn with Stash, but... does kind of hurt our cause. Academy. So we can't play another spell right after. I think I'm interested in just passing. I think I want to have this artifact. They don't have another land. That's great for us. So we can Catacombs, and then I think we're in the clear. I guess we're not, because I can still have an initiative creature, but... so here, I'm interested in playing Tezzeret. And... I guess searching for a Soul Ring. Maybe I'm supposed to just wait. But if they play a Clarion Conqueror, it's bad. But I guess searching for Soul Ring's not very good if they play a Clarion Conqueror, so... Alright, we were able to steal the initiative with the Metamorph and then carry it to victory with Force. So, certainly think maybe I'm just sideboarding really poorly in this league. It's probably not helping. I hit a Masticore off of my Throne of the Dead. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. Fifth and final round of this vintage league. It hasn't been the best set of matches, but not the worst either. We're up against, I think this is a Raker player, if I remember correctly from our earlier matches. My hand has a Force, but it doesn't have mana to play the game, so we're going to put it back. This hand has a Metamorph. I'm going to try keeping a Metamorph. Could be pretty good for us. Going to get rid of... I actually think getting rid of Saga here is my play. Because top could be good if I Metamorph a Raker. And I already have another land to play, so... top. It's kind of a weak hand for them. 6-card hand, top, spin. Makes my Metamorph plan worse. Might make my Twister plan better. Let's see. Alright, Probe shows that I am not on the same deck anymore. We'll see how this gets played out. Okay, there's more mana. Another spin. And a Chalice on 0. Okay. It's a lot of spells. A lot of spells. Just gonna wait. I don't have any reason to fire off anything right now. Wait for a Breacher to show up, though I don't have that many Breachers in it. Okay. Pass. No spin. Ah, Defense Grid. Okay, well. Certainly not bad against me. I'm gonna play a top and spin and see where that gets us. Ah. Now, that is interesting. To play a Fantasticar this turn, I have played a top. I would draw. I would play a Fantasticar. I would play a Ruby as my third spell. So I can actually trick my opponent here. It'll be kind of hard to do. But if I play a Metamorph... No, I don't have to. I can do my own top. Okay, so what I can do here is I can trigger a Fantasticar. So what I do is I spend 3 mana and I Metamorph my top. And then I play a Workshop. I fucked it up. I don't have enough mana to replay a top. Okay, I tried. The reason I don't have enough mana to replay a top is because of Chalice. So now I don't have a Metamorph. Okay. All right, I'm going to wait then because I need the Fantasticar to count as part of my spells here. This makes everything really hard for me. It puts me in lethal car range. Yeah, not a good play by me. I thought I had a way to get this car going, but I did not. I don't believe Metamorph entering as a non-creature spell would count. It shouldn't. There's no reason it should. That's so bad for me. Because now car doesn't win. All right, but the good news is I can copy the ring and I can't lose. So that's why we have Metamorph in the first place. Problem is, I don't know that we're going to be able to win either, so... Alright, so now... we just redraw with top and play Metamorph as our only spell. Yeah. Even if I play car, I won't have enough spells. So I should just wait. Okay. We do have the problem where we're drawing into a Bolas' Citadel, right? After that. Oh, I forgot about that card. So that we still don't have enough spells. We can spin again now, though. We could also Twister. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. So I can't win the game. Key is good. Key does mean we're definitely drawing into our Citadel. Oh, it still cost me 3 life. Whoops. Probably not my best play then. Okay, well, if our opponent does not deploy a new ring or Volt Key us, then we kill them with car. Unless they put their own car in play. If not, then we draw 7 cards next turn and have a Twister and try to do one of those things ourselves. So these matchups are super about ring, which is why I thought Metamorphs might be pretty good. But don't know. Tezzeret means they draw a million cards as well. But again, there's Chalice, so we'll see. Say tutor. They could tutor with a 1 ring in the main. Or sorry, the 1 ring in the main. The needle in the main on the 1 ring. That might be quite good here. But it's only good if they can get a way to stop them from dying to Fantasticar, which they are just straight up dead to. So it's been a kind of an interesting one. I think the back half of this league has kind of redeemed it a little bit. They got a Sensei's top instead. I don't know what that does. Doesn't seem very good. If they had a needle, then I would have liked to see a needle. And if they didn't have a needle, I think I would have liked to draw with Ring and then redraw with Ring with Tezzeret to try to get to 4 mana to replay a new Ring. Or even hold the Tezzeret activation in case you draw Time Vault. Because Time Vault is a win here for the most part, because you just get to Karn your opponent. You get to make a bunch of constructs, and then Karn your opponent. It should usually be good enough. Talon Gates. It's a card I don't know about for Raker. Obviously a really strong card, but I don't know if it vibes with how Raker is currently built. There's the Time Vault. So my opponent, if they, maybe they could have won this game. I don't know. It would be depend on what they drew, obviously. So let's draw a billion cards, but we don't really need to draw any cards here, I guess. Doesn't hurt us to play. Oh, there's a defense grid in play, so we don't even need to do that. All right. Look at my car. My car is fantastic. Is that how that goes? Something like that. Beep, beep. I've been, unfortunately, kicking my opponent's butt in the car mirror today. I don't know if I'm doing anything different, but certainly has been the case. Definitely taking... So, I've been boarding out Tinker in this matchup, which is crazy to think about, but I don't know that it's very good. Don't think any of my Tinker targets are particularly good here, especially if I get hit. Can't Citadel. So I've been trying to not play that. I don't really like Bauble on the draw. I don't really like Chain, but I could chain my opponent's Bauble, like CFO did to me earlier. I don't think I like it, though. I don't think I like it. Something to be said about, like, Karn not being that good. I can just get rid of these tops, maybe. See, like, is this deck good? Like, I don't even think this deck I'm looking at right now is good. That's my problem. Like, I boarded cards that make sense, but I boarded myself into a deck that I don't even think is good. All right. I got a Force. I got a Hull Breacher. Turn 2. I think this one's good enough for me. Hull Breacher is not the end-all be-all anymore against these Raker card decks, but it's still a good one against One Rings and tops, so. Black Lotus Academy. Guess I could have gotten some value off of countering Black Lotus, but feels a little premature. Didn't float before cracking Lotus. Force this, pitching the Probe. Has a Mox anyways. Has a Mana Vault. So I was talking about forcing Black Lotus would have ended with me being dead. So kind of like the way I played this out. We'll see what opponent's got for follow-ups here. Tez. Bajillion mana. They can play a ring. Looks like they're gonna play a ring. Are they gonna play a meta? They could be a Raker. Ah, another car. Okay. So they can get a top next turn. We are just on Time Vault and Ring, so that I can play my Raker or Breacher next turn if it's good. I don't know if it's gonna be good. Might not be. The sync costs so much life now. I never felt like the sync life cost was a huge deal before. It was like a small deal for sure, but I didn't feel like it was a huge deal. But now with these cars, man, it feels like 3 life is a million. All right, so I assume this is a top. Could be a needle on Time Vault to try to make sure they can't die. It's not even unreasonable. Sensei top. Okay. I mean, technically, if this top finds another top, they can just top with the academy and then kill me with cars. Hmm. I am worried about this game. This is a big problem now. Like, Raker used to just fold the Breacher. Not fold, because they had, like, gates, right? But for the most part, like, Breacher was a knockout punch against Raker, but this car changes things. It's real tough. All right. Opponent drew with top. Let the mana go and hit me for 4. I am not replacing my end step. Sink into stupor. All right. Yeah, I don't think Breacher's good in it here because this car is a little too fantastic. The good news is if they do draw with top again, I can at least get a token, and then I could maybe bounce a Fantasticar with Sink into Stupor. That might not even be a good idea, but I might need it to live, so we'll see. They can get another top now, which would trigger the Fantasticar if I didn't have a Hull Breacher, for what it's worth. They like search, got a top, play a top, draw. Go pretty well for them. Key. Even just like leaving the key activation up. My opponent's going to go all in here, which is great for us. We can get multiple treasures. Oh, they actually gave it back to us. Very nice play from the opponent. Hmm. Nice play from the opponent. Heads up play. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna play it. Make sure we get our treasure. Because they can activate in response now. Oh, they didn't activate again. They should have activated again. So maybe it wasn't heads up play. Opponent's gonna search another top, which is still not the 4th spell, right? So it's the 3rd spell, right? Oh, it might be the 4th. No, yeah, it's the 3rd spell. All right, so they have to have like another random card in hand because they're not gonna be able to draw into another action spell here. They're also not standing up their car. They might have been playing around. Not Chain wouldn't have done it. I don't know. Okay, I think we made it through that one. I drew a sink. All right, well, I don't know that is good enough. I'm gonna kill the Tezzeret. Tezzeret seems like a problem. But I don't know that these sinks are getting it there for me. Okay, so my opponent has a bajillion mana, 2 tops, a Fantasticar, a new Tezzeret. Okay. All right, now the Fantasticar is getting stood up. They have a top in their hand, and they can search for another one, but they can't crack the car no matter what. If I want to, I can bounce the car. They might not want to use the Tezzeret to search so that it doesn't die to Hull Breacher, but we're searching. They could also pump their Fantasticar. It's another legal play. I wonder if there's an artifact. I'll have to do some searching. It's an interesting idea. I guess that Sensei Stop is like close enough to 2 spells. Vexing Bauble. Yeah, no problem. This Hull Breacher is stopping them from winning this game. If there was not a Hull Breacher, I do believe we'd be dead. So that's positive points for the Hull Breacher. I'll take the 4 here. I think I want to hold on to the sinks. Okay, can't play the opal now. I'm gonna get one of the. I probably am not even supposed to play the other sink here. At least we get to kill the Tezzeret again. We obviously are dead to 2 attacks from the Fantasticar. Yeah, I should have held the second sink because the problem is I can't get another. Oh, they're gonna crack the. They're just gonna spin. I hope. I hope. Okay. I only. Yeah. I don't know. At any point I draw a Tezzeret, I win. Okay. That is a 1 ring. A 1 ring is fine. Again, we still have a Hull Breacher. It does turn on their Fantasticar, and their Fantasticar can get in there. They have a top as their last card in hand, so they can win on the next turn if we don't sink. I can't get this and get rid of their ability to cast it this turn because they have Manifold Key and they can recast it if they want. So I don't think it's worth it to hit it right there. And then I am continuing to draw cards that don't do anything. So my opponent will try to win here. I can time walk them for 1 turn. And then I still am on, like... I still am just on... Tezzeret to win. Tinker to win. That kind of thing. I took Tinker out of my deck. Okay, my opponent untapped their Mana Vault to stop taking damage. That doesn't look good. Though if they do have to use the Tolarian Cat, it doesn't actually help me. Nothing's actually helping me here. Okay, that's not good, right? I know they have a top, right? So that means their next spell is also lethal. That is not ideal. Time Twister would be a good draw. Time Twister would almost certainly win. The good news is, as of right now, if I hadn't played the second Springs, I would not have been able to cast the second Springs. So that hasn't actually changed at all. So unless I draw like Academy here, then it probably was never casting the second Springs. So can't counter that. Don't have a counter. So I do need to draw action that does something. Even Metamorph as a ring. Damn it. Okay. I die. I mean, I bought a bunch of turns. It's just I don't have enough action in my deck. Yeah. Well, my opponent did activate and give me a treasure token, so if I did have the sulfuric springs, I would be able to use it, so... Uh-huh. And we know that they have a Sensei's Top in hand as their last spell to trigger Fantasticar. They drew no lands in this game. I guess they spun top, though, so that actually makes a bunch of sense. They've only had an Academy for 7 turns. And I've been vanquished by the 4/4 flyer. The Metamorph was probably not doing it either, so... I need a significant amount of action, and I don't get that this way. I don't know that I mean, I think you want Bobble on the play. I guess Hurkyl's Recall would have been not very good. I'm not even sure Hurkyl's Recall is good at all. But... all right, let's keep that in on the play, even if I don't love it. This is a Force and a Fantasticar and nothing else. Let's see, like, this is not good, but I guess this hand would probably not be good no matter what, so... okay, I do love this hand. I think this hand is fantastic. So this hand is Lotus, Bauble, playing around Mindbreak Trap, Soul Ring, Academy, Twister. Love this hand. This is a great Twister hand. It's just a classic, beautiful, old school Twister hand. I mean, Bauble is an old school Twister, but the rest of these cards certainly are. Okay. Twisties. I think we're gonna keep Bobble up for now, but I can crack it if I need to. See what my opponent's 7-card hand looks like. My opponent's 7-card hand does not have mana to play through Bobble. That seems good for me. I do need to win the game, but we'll say Twister did exactly what I wanted Twister to do there, so... now I have hardcast stuff. I don't think I'm looking at hardcasting Metamorph on Bobble to draw cards, though. Seems like that would not be necessary. Tezzeret should do good work here. Let's do Monolith. Let's search for... did I take all the tops out? I took all of the tops out? Nah, okay, I should not have done that. Lots of learning happening. Lots of learning happening. I will get a Manifold Key, I guess. Yeah, I guess there's no... I mean, I should hold these for Fantasticar, so... okay, my bad. I did not realize I got all of my tops. That was not correct. I should definitely have kept a top in. Don't know that it's going to matter very much, but... Talon Gates. It's time for mana. My opponent plays any kind of mana here. I probably just counter it. Top is fine. I can now Metamorph their top. Fantasticar should do it for sure. All right, Fantasticar. Let's go. I don't want to not use my blue mana so I can force something. So let's play a Metamorph as a top. And then let's draw with top. I think we'll spin 2 here. Okay, they're out of here. Okay. I salvaged a 3/2 with this. I didn't like it at all. I don't know if anyone has a better ideas here. Obviously, we played really medium, and a lot of the choices I made in sideboarding were experimental and kind of punished us, so that didn't help. But it just feels like I don't have the density of threats, nor the speed or the consistency to make this worthwhile. And that's how I'm feeling about blue workshops at the moment. Don't know. I just feel like you do need to put some effort into getting Fantasticar to be good, and once you do that, it's hard to do other things. Like the Raker Shops deck is perfect because it's already doing exactly what Fantasticar wants, and all of its other pieces just want to do that. So it's like no problem. But once you try to do some of these blue things, it just all starts to fall apart at the seams, and everything goes crumbling down. Let me know if you have a good blue Fantasticar list. Drop it over to me, and I'll see if I can make it work. For now, thanks for watching. More vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. See you then.